This week was the much talked about special election in Georgia's 6th congressional district, hyped up by the media as a harbinger of things to come, a look into 2018. They believed that it might actually be the death knell to Donald Trump's legislative agenda as shallow Republicans ran for fear and cover after the Democrats won the seat. But special elections really haven't historically foreshadowed the next midterm or general election. And even if they did, the midterms in 2018 are still 16 and a half months away. Nevertheless, the Democrats were making their stand here. They pumped in more than $30 million into the most expensive congressional race in history. Interestingly, for every penny of local money, $10 was coming in from the outside. It was much more Hollywood bucks than local bucks that was fueling this campaign. And the Democrats were prepared to celebrate. They were up 7 points, or nearly 7 points, a week before the election was actually held. And they were prepared to crow about their anti-Trump messaging having triumphed, how they had killed the Republican agenda in the legislative side and boosted their fundraising and set the stage for multiple electoral victories in 2018. I told our television audience the week before the Georgia special election to look for 2 words. One, turnout. And what happened in the special election was that Jon Ossoff, the Democratic candidate, boosted his prior turnout by 32,000 votes, whereas Karen Handel, now Congresswoman-elect Karen Handel, the first woman elected from Georgia, by the way, boosted hers by 96,000 votes, roughly 3 times that of her Democratic opponent. Republicans having great success in getting out marginal Republican voters. The Republicans came out just as they did in November. The margin, the other word I said to look for, was equally important. A nearly 5-point margin for the Republicans in that race, in one that was supposed to be at least neck and neck, and which looked like it was going to the Democrats the week before. The Democrats, of course, are now saying it wasn't a bellwether at all. This was a safe Republican seat and was expected to go to Republicans. Well, it was a safe Republican seat historically. It was Newt Gingrich's and later Dr. Tom Price's, who left to become part of Donald Trump's cabinet, thus the need for the special election. But here's where we are. 4 or 5, depending on how you count these special elections, and 0 is better than being 0 and 5. And that is the key. There are a couple of lessons from the Georgia 6th that we ought to look at. First, the resistance stuff simply doesn't work. Anti-Trump rhetoric by itself is not enough. Ultimately, you have to tell people what you are for, not simply demonize your opposition. Second, this presents a real opportunity for the Republican/Trump legislative agenda, the big triple of repealing and replacing Obamacare, getting an infrastructure package for our roads and bridges, and perhaps most important, getting real tax relief for the American people. 2 words, the third lesson, 2 words. Localize and personalize. In this race, the fact that Republicans were able to seize upon Jon Ossoff's really thin record and the fact that he didn't even live in the congressional district helped them a lot. And finally, the Republicans can't be complacent. They might breathe a little bit easier right now, but 2018 looms, and midterms have historically not been good to the party in power, and there are still 23 Republicans serving in districts that Hillary Clinton won in the last general election. So there is some work to be done, and it begins with passing that legislative agenda and getting real tax relief for the American people and the economy going full blast again. And that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.